Hello and welcome. Today we are looking at the SkyDrones Falcon X25 drone. This foldable drone has a 720p HD Wi-Fi streaming camera. It has altitude hold, headless mode, one key return, auto takeoff, auto land, and comes with an additional battery for a combined 20-minute flight time. So let's check it out. Now the drone comes in this black rectangular box where you can clearly see the drone in the front, and it's the SkyDrones Falcon X25, and it's a foldable live streaming HD drone with a 20-minute flight time, and that's due to an additional 3.7 volt 1300 milliamp LiPo battery that it comes with, and it's a 720p HD streamer. And right here at the bottom you can see a listing of all its features, such as 6-axis gyro, 2.4 gigahertz control, so on and so forth. And right here at the top, once again, you can see the features listed out there, such as headless mode, one key return, 360 degree flips, so on and so forth. Here it just says Falcon X25 on the side, same on this side. And then right here on the bottom, you can see some warnings and some additional information. And here on the back, you can see another perspective of the drone, and you can see some FPV shots there with the transmitter and a more detailed listing of all its features. So a very nice package here, very descriptive. So without further ado, let's take a closer look here at the drone. Let's open the box up. Let's open it up here from the side and pull out the center plastic mold. And let's see what we've got here. So right away you can see the drone and transmitter right there in the center, nice and neatly laid out. And we've got all the parts, so very cool. So let's take another look here in the box, and we have the instruction manuals. And very nice here. It shows all the parts, has diagrams and instructions on the operation of the drone, so very cool. And now let's take a closer look here at the drone. Very nice, and it's in its compact folded state, and you can see the bottom with its battery bay, and that's the battery that it comes with, and there's an additional battery as well. And right in here we have 4 propeller guards. Very cool. You just simply snap those onto the drone. And right here we have the transmitter, and it has its joystick guards right there. They're just foamy little guards. You just simply remove them, and a very nice transmitter right here. Very cool, very comfortable, and has an LCD display at the bottom. And here is the mobile device clip. So you just put that at the top, and you can put a pretty large cell phone there at the top. Just simply clip it in, and it holds it very well. So very good system there. And here's a little bag with the charger, spare propellers, a USB adapter for the SD card, and the additional battery. So pretty good. So now let's organize all this and take one last look at the contents of the box. Now, taking a last look at the contents of the box, we have the drone itself. It's 2 3.7 volt 1300 milliamp LiPo batteries. We have 4 spare propellers. We have 4 propeller guards. We have the USB to SD card adapter. We have the screwdriver with spare screws. Then we have the transmitter with its mobile device clip on top, the USB charge cable, and the instruction manual. So that's essentially the contents of the box. Now let's take a closer look at the drone. Now, taking a closer look at the drone, this is a real neat looking black and red drone here that highly resembles a Syma X56W, only it's from SkyDrones. And it does have this 720p HD camera right here in the front. And unfortunately it is not tiltable, but it does take an SD card right here. And this whole portion is actually a module that can be removed. You just simply slide it out, and it has its Wi-Fi antenna attached, so you could just simply remove that part as well. And as you can see, the camera module is detachable, so this leaves some possibilities for either modding or putting another camera component or using this one somewhere else, etc. So pretty cool, and you just simply attach it back on if necessary. And right here you could see its battery bay, and initially there is a screw that holds the battery bay, but you can remove it and safely use it, because if you're going to be swapping out batteries, it's inconvenient to have to unscrew it. And if we look inside here, it has a 3.7 volt 1300 milliamp LiPo battery, and this battery provides the quadcopter with around a 10-minute flight time, and there are two of them. And it charges with this charger right here, and you just simply plug it into the connector, and you can see a light indicator on the charger to see if it's charging. Now you could interchangeably use either a SkyViper charger or use this to charge SkyViper batteries if necessary. And as you can see, there are two batteries that come with this, and you can even use SkyViper batteries, which are very easy to find, and you can buy them separately. Now this is a 1200, but you can very well use it on the quadcopter and get just about the same amount of flight time. So that's very cool, and the batteries fit perfectly well in there. And in fact, you can use these batteries on certain SkyViper drones as well. So very cool. And right here at the top, you can activate the drone by simply keeping its on-off button pressed. And as you can see, it has very bright LEDs, which are very good for orientation or night flight. So very nice. And then you can disable them by keeping the on-off button pressed. And this is a brushed motor quadcopter, and the propellers are replaceable by simply putting in a small screw, while the propeller guards just simply latch on or snap on right there at the top. And now this is a foldable quadcopter, and it has these little buttons or latches that you simply press in order to fold, because originally the legs are locked into place, so you have to simply unlock them by pushing in the button and sliding in the arms. And you do have to start with the rear legs first, and also make sure that the propellers align in place. So this is how you fold it into position like this. So very neat and compact. And also these little legs here at the bottom are optional. You don't have to fold them out if you don't want, but you can fold them out, and it makes the landing process a little easier. And they do snap into place, and you just simply have to unlatch them, and you can fold them upwards. And so that's how the drone looks when it's all compact like that. And you can leave those small folded legs there, fold it up, and perfectly fly the drone. You would fold out the propellers just by pushing the buttons like that, but you can perfectly well leave the bottom plastic legs folded up, and this is how it would look. Very sleek and aerodynamic, and so putting them down or up is really optional. So that's essentially it for the quadcopter. Now let's take a closer look at the transmitter. Now, taking a closer look at the transmitter, this is a very comfortable mid-sized transmitter, and here in the back it takes 4 AA batteries, as you can see here, 4 AA batteries held in place with this lid and screw. So you would just simply snap it into place like so. And now this transmitter also has an attachment that you have to install, which is the mobile device clip. And you simply just wedge it in on the top like so, and you can clip in a pretty large mobile device, not quite a tablet. And now looking at the controls a bit, right here in the center we have its on-off switch that has a red light for its power and a blue light to indicate statuses like headless mode and so on. Here we have our directional trims, and this one right here is not a trim, it's actually the photo and video button. If you switch it down, it takes a video. If you switch it up, it should take a photo, as you can see in a display, but unfortunately only the app works for that. And here on the sides are some null unused buttons, and we have our left throttle stick followed by our right rudder stick. And as you can see, there's an LCD display below that shows the percentage of pitch on each joystick, so you can see all the statuses. Here is the headless mode button, and you will see the blue light flash. If you keep that pressed, it'll enter one key return. Here is the auto takeoff and land button. Here we have our rates button. There are 2 rates of speed, and you can see them down below in the LCD display. And then last but not least, we have our 3D flips button, where you'll hear some beeps and move the rudder in the direction you'd like the quadcopter to flip. So that's essentially it for the control. It does provide the quadcopter with around an 80 to 100 meter range of control. So now let's take a closer look at setting this up for its first time flight. Now, setting the drone up for its first time flight is very straightforward. Once you have a fully charged battery inserted into the drone, along with its SD card, and fresh batteries inserted into the transmitter, you would first activate the drone by pushing its on-off button located at the top and keep it pressed for a couple of seconds. At that point, you should see the lights blink, and then you turn on the transmitter right here in the center and wait a couple of seconds, and it should automatically bind out of the factory. There is no throttle up and down. It is recommended to calibrate the gyros by moving both sticks down and to the right, like so. You should see the lights blink, and make sure this is done at the ground level while the drone is flat and not moving. So now the drone has been bound and calibrated, and so we will now connect to the drone's Wi-Fi to use its app. So let's do that right now. Now, once in your mobile device's Wi-Fi settings, you want to look for an entry here that says SkyDrones Falcon X25 and a serial number. And so you'd want to connect to that. And initially there is no default Wi-Fi password or anything like that. So you simply connect to that and then proceed to launch this app right here, which is the SkyDrones Falcon X25 app. And it's in both the iOS and Android app stores. So this is the app you want to download with the white icon. And once you download that, you just simply launch the app. And there is a help button or option right here on the right, and it will give you some information on using the app. But primarily you want to start out with this start button. And when you hit the start button, you have 2 options, either to use the app for FPV or for control. We're going to start here with FPV. And as you can see right away, we have an FPV feed with the drone. So very good, very clear display, very low latency. And the FPV range on this is somewhere around 50 to 60 meters. So not too bad there. And now looking at the app and its controls, we have this 3D button here that basically splits the screen to put them in cell phone FPV goggles. And here's the photo button, and here is the video button, and right here is the VGA or 720p preview button. It is recommended to have it at HD 720p. Right here is the photo and video album, and here you can select between viewing your saved photos and videos. Now we go back to the main menu, and this time we will select the control option. And here you can control the quadcopter from here. We have the virtual controls like the left throttle stick and right rudder stick. We have our photo and video buttons. We have our VGA and 720p preview. We have our rates of speed. There are 2 rates, low and high. We have our 360 flips button. Here you activate the motors or activate app control. And then we have our auto takeoff and auto land buttons. Right here we have our gyro calibration or our accelerometer mode, where we can tilt the mobile device in the direction we want to fly the quadcopter in. And then right here we have our headless mode. And then we also have our waypoints mode, where we can draw a pattern and the quadcopter will fly that pattern using the rudder. Then we have our mode, so we can change the joystick mode, whether it be in mode 1 or 2, left-handed or right-handed. And then we have our trims, and that's essentially it for the app. Overall, a pretty thorough and good package, a good flyer. Unfortunately, You cannot take photo and video using the buttons on the controller, only the app. It would have been nice to just use the controller, not to be dependent on the app to take videos and footage. But aside from that, it is a great flyer, and it might have been also nice to include an SD card along with the package. But aside from that, it is a smooth flyer, and it is a very neat package with 2 batteries and a combined flight time of 20 minutes. So let's take it up and see how she performs.
Bye.